Kalama, for that session. So we're going to continue now with the theme of women's sports. And we are lucky to have a very esteemed group of athletes who are all breaking barriers in their respective sports. The first is Zamzam Al-Hamadi, who at just 17 years old is the first Emirati woman to join the Professional Fighters League. Rasha Al-Khamis is a Saudi combat sports expert. Alia Al-Rashid is the head of women's football department for the Saudi Arabian Football Federation. And we also have joining a pro motorsport athlete, Mashal Al-Abadan. And they will be interviewed by Fortune's Emma Hinchliffe, who, when we're back home in the US, writes about women's sport for our magazine and also for our daily newsletter, Most Powerful Women Daily. So we're just finishing the stage setup, and then the women will be on. Okay? Let's go. Emma and the athletes.
Hello, everyone. We have a very exciting panel for you today here with some of the most amazing female athletes in the Middle East. So thank you so much. And everyone's got their phones out, looks excited to hear from you. So this is amazing. I would love to hear from all of you. You're all leading the way across different sports. What inspired you to pursue these paths, and what made you believe it was possible? Maybe Zamzam, if there's, what about you? And so everyone knows Zamzam is amazing. She just signed with the Professional Fighters League, which is a global organization, and she's only 17.
First of things, I'm really happy to be between all of you guys, and for me, like doing this achievement, and what really like making me like doing it every day, every single day, it's my mother. She's the one who is like pushing me forward, and she's the inspiration that I really want to be like. So like this, I do all this stuff for her.
Amazing. Rasha, Rasha, what about you? What inspired you to get into your sport?
So I grew up with the principles and values that sports is for all. These values were instilled in me since I was since I was 7 years old. The same trainings that my dad used to be my first coach, so the same trainings he used to train my brother, he used to give it to me. So I grew up doing different sports: soccer, tennis, long distance running, cycling, ending it with boxing. So that's like how I've kind of grew up doing different sports. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And Mashal, what about you? What made you pursue motorsports?
So when we talk about motorsports, if you look at Saudi, most of it, let's say at least half of it is desert. And it's a cultural thing in Saudi. In winter, we go off-roading and we go camping. So it is part of the culture. And what really ignited that in me is when I used to go with family and we go off-roading, I really fell in love, let's say, with dunes and just going in the desert, and that really inspired me. And I'm thankful for my parents because they really saw that passion and they supported me. And for sure, because of Vision 2030 as well, I'm able to actually race globally. So let's say it's a combination of culture, parents, and enabling country.
And tell us a bit about your sports, because you also race on the water.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are they? A lot of people probably don't even know that that is a sport you can do.
So completely different races. So what I do rallies, which is Paris-Dakar and off-roading and these things. And the other side is completely different sport. It focuses on sustainability. What they did, they brought the Formula One cars, made it electric, and then they put foils on it, and they told us, okay, you guys are ready to race on water. It's completely different, but I really love the excitement and challenge in both.
Wow, yeah. Amazing. Alia, you are leading women's football or soccer for the Americans here in Saudi. Tell us about it. What's going on with Saudi women's football right now?
Thank you, Emma. First of all, it's a great pleasure to be here with you and to share some insights in women's football and powerful stories throughout the different sports with my colleagues. So as my colleague Msha'al mentioned and Adwa regarding Vision 2030, the whole country is transforming, and we're very proud to be, as Saudi women, witnessing all of these changes in the country. When I first started back at the age of 14, back in 2011, We used to find some obstacles, challenges, finding fields to play at. But today we're very proud that every young girl in the country has the ability and has the platform she deserves to play football. So when it comes to grassroots development in the country, we've launched the first edition of Schools League, and we managed to get 70,000 girls participating in the school leagues for the first time. So this shows how the country and the sport is growing massively, and we're very proud to see all of this success. In addition, when we first announced the establishment of the national team, we had more than 800 girls registered. So just to give a story behind that, we have the German former head coach, Monika Stab, was saying that I've been into 80 countries and I've never seen the passion that I've seen here in Saudi. So that shows that the demand is there, the game is growing, and it's our mandate as a football federation to deliver all the programs and platforms needed for our girls to play sports. So our aim is to expand regionally. As you may know, that Saudi Arabia is a huge country that has 13 different regions, and now we have regional training centers all around the kingdom to make the dream of every girl that she wants to play football, she can open the door and find a field next to her to play the game. So, and we're also looking to get the pathway of girls from grassroots to elite level. So when it comes to professionals, we've, from not having any league 5 years ago to having a Premier League that is being played on a seasonal basis, with having more than 50 international players who call Saudi Arabia today their second home. From around 20 countries around the world, they play here. So we have more than 8 competitions being played from all age groups. And this is, to summarize that journey, it's a dream come true. As myself, Adwa, Rasha as well, we've been playing in a community level. So it's great times in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and we're very, very proud of the success we've reached and the level we've reached. No better position than today.
And those 50 international players, those are women's players?
Sorry?
The 50 international players you mentioned, those are women's players?
Women's players who plays in the national teams and international players that plays in our league. So today they act as a role models to the young girls. They train them, they tell them how to be professionals and to pave their career in the future.
Awesome. Mashal, you mentioned your passion for motorsports. It's part of Saudi culture. When did you decide to pursue this professionally?
Honestly, I used to do it for fun until Saudi has announced that they're hosting Paris-Dakar for the first time in Saudi. And that moment, I knew that my dream is going to come to reality. It's going to be a reality, and it's my passion will be a profession. And that moment, I knew that that was it.
Wow. Rasha, you're in a sport that is, stereotypically male-dominated. Tell us about what it's like to compete as a woman in this sport for you and for also your competitors, the people you're competing with.
So there are multiple misconceptions about combat sports in general. The sport is for women. It's a very bloody sport. It's an aggressive sport, and it's an unlifting sport. But however, these misconceptions belong to the past, and they're dying out here in Saudi Arabia and globally. And then if we look at And then if we look at what are the things that really kind of change the scene here in Saudi Arabia, is that there are more investments in different sports. So whether it's boxing, MMA, etc. And then you would look at, let's say boxing. From year 2021 to 2024, women boxing grew by 460%. Women are registered in these clubs across 84 government clubs, where they're competing with men, their men's team. And not only that, but also if it tells you that there's more investment, and they're actually pursuing this because they actually love it. They've tried it, they see the benefit, and then they actually love it. And then nothing is really stopping them, and I don't think that they should be stopped. I personally boxed, and I've seen the impact on it. I've seen the impact of boxing on mentally, physically. you gain those skills, the discipline, the determination, and then you also learn how to set goals. So personally, I've seen it, I've seen the growth, I've seen the benefit of it, and I truly believe that we're living in the golden era of sports here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and everything is being supported and nothing is being stopped. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I know. This conversation has a record amount of applause for any conversation on stage. Zamzam, we mentioned, how young you are. You're starting out your professional career. What are your goals for yourself? And, years from now, decades from now, by the time you're done, where do you hope or think women's sports will be?
First thing, I'm really happy of how it's really improved, of how the women's year after year, you see that the amount of women is going to combat sport, especially as me, I'm mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu athlete. So in jiu-jitsu, I tell you, before we started maybe with 15 girls, 20 girls, and now, mashallah, maybe over 1,500 girls are going in this sport, and they're trying their best to be in the position of the national team. And also the mixed martial arts. We just 3 years ago, the mixed martial arts got in the words of IMF, or let's say the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation. Before 3 years only, we know about something named by mixed martial arts in UAE. So what happened, me and my sister, we were the first competitors to go to the IMF, and we're happy in just the first participation for us, we got first place. So it was an achievement because no one have really did it, especially for me and Ray, we're the first Arabs to get first place in IMF, and after that we go to ASEAN Championship also. And now me being the youngest one to be with the professional league, it's just an achievement because I'm really happy to represent my country in such a field.
Amazing. Sorry, I was more applause?
More coming.
Yeah. So what are some of the challenges of being a female athlete, especially thinking, in this region, obviously we have many people in the room from all over the world today. What should we know about what the challenges still are, and are they different in different sports?
For sure, if we're talking about, if you guys allow me to.
Yeah, of course.
For example, the sport I come from, once the helmet is on, you look at skill and talent. I race with men and females, so there's no really gender categorizing there. I believe we are part of male-dominant industry sports, right? But I believe that women proved themselves because we showed our talent in spaces that we weren't historically allowed to be part of. And I believe we have a strong message, whether Russia is doing boxing or they're doing soccer or even martial arts. I think we give a really strong message for young kids. We show the girls and we teach the young boys that actually, strength, talent, and skill isn't really about gender, right? The challenges are really huge, but it looks really promising for females across all industries, for sure. Yeah.
Rasha, what about you? Are there any challenges that come up in your sport?
So I think from my end, as Alia mentioned, before Vision 2030, we had 0 registered female athletes. But then specifically in boxing and all type of sports, but then after Vision 2030, there are around 200,000 registered women in schools, and that's a big number. And if we look at boxing, we had 0 female boxers. And then if we look at how it grew to around 170 female athletes just in 4 years. And not only that, that's across different age groups, schoolboys and girls, junior, youth. And you would see the young girls are really excited about it. So once you open the door, and this is with a lot of things. So once you open the door, you'll see women who are very passionate about what they do. They're gonna pursue it with their passion and their interest. And then that's across sectors, whether it's sports, culture, entertainment, music, etc. So I think once you open that door, and this happened a lot, and then you'll see the passion is there, and just a matter of actually opening the door, providing the enablers. And as I've mentioned, now is the golden era of Saudi Arabia, the golden era of sports in Saudi Arabia. All the enablers are there, and then it's a matter of actually reaching to the highest levels. So yeah, which we actually reached to the highest levels. Yeah.
Yeah. Alia, what have you learned over the past several years of working in football and now leading the federation?
Yeah, so I think in everything in life, there are lessons learned as you go part of the process. So as Rasha just mentioned, there are challenges as we go. But when we first started, we thought that we will be facing more challenges. But the demand and the interest from everyone around showed the complete opposite. So, and just like everything in life, we need to trust the process and give it time, especially when it comes to sport. Nurturing talent is not something easy that in 1 second we can get it. However, we need to respect and trust the time. And if you were too lucky, you would get 2 to 3 talents in the same generation. So it's basically based on generations. And our goal is to develop all the programs for them to grow and reach the elite level. In addition, I think people think it's easy for a passionate woman or a girl that works in her profession, or the passion becomes a profession, and the results will come just as easy as possible. But sometimes we need to recognize that throughout this journey, we only learn and win. There is no loss in that process. And on a personal level, I'd like always to be between the girls through camps, national team camps, and regional training centers. So put a feet on grass. And that's what really matters. The joy you can see in the faces of our girls, their families, their sisters, siblings. So this is just the feelings just always recharges us to give more and to deliver more. So to summarize, trust the process, trust you in yourself, and keep a feet on the grass.
So do you feel like, yeah, more clapping, but now, do you feel like your sports are getting enough media coverage? What would really make a difference on the media side for you as athletes and individuals, and also for the broader sports?
For me, I think mixed martial arts, everyone knows. The coverage of media is so high, especially the PFL. The Stars Play, it's the official, let's say, stream media there. So they are on demand, and they are all putting all the fights on live. So the investment in this stuff, like in martial arts, and you can watch the fights globally in every place. It's a good thing. For me, mixed martial arts, it's never let down. Every time when year come by, you see the coverage of the mixed martial arts is just high, not only for men, even for females. Now we watch all around the world. Now the fans are cheering up for females more than males. So this is something good, and I'm really happy that I am in this field and I'm the one who's representing you in such a field. So yeah.
They're showing up more to see the women competing on the ground in person or online when they're watching?
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
Even the sales and watching it live, it's all sold out maybe in 2 days, 3 days, and even Stars Play, the fact that they are helping the community of MMA and streaming it globally, just beautiful, to be honest.
Wow. I want to make sure we have an opportunity for questions. Does anyone have any for our amazing panelists? Oh, we have one over here. If we have someone to bring over a microphone, please introduce yourself by name and company.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Aman Zahrani. I work as the group head of diversity at Alayan. And my question is for Alia. So I just want to share the progress we have locally. We couldn't imagine it. So my daughter, she's a 14-year-old. She just selected to the local team of the football, and I'm so happy for her. Yeah. So my question is for you, as parents, so how can we prepare our kids, so in my case, my daughter, to not just be a football player, but to transition in the future and contribute to this. And I would like to mention what Dr. Leila said, the BCG managing partner. we need to give them the confidence to shape the future. So how can we do that as parents? Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
First of all, congratulations. We'll catch up after that final to see which team she's in and how can we provide, as the federation, how can we provide support. So going back to your question, I think today we're all examples of girls who were young and they played the sport they love. And today they represent different government entities or different leadership positions in different sectors. So we have Ms. Adwa Al-Arifi, who's Assistant Minister of Sport, who used to play football back in 2006, 2007. And out of passion, we took that game until we reached today. It's becoming professional and something that everyone believes in. As well as Rasha, Msha'el, and all my colleagues, we started, and it helps a lot building the character of the player. She feels if she loves something, I'd always say, let her go, enjoy what she loves, and she will build her character from that sport or the thing that she loves, whether it's arts, sports, and so the passion creates leaders. And we've saw also Princess Haifa bint Mohammed, who used to play fencing. Now she's the Vice Minister of Tourism. So I think there are a lot of examples through sports. They became the person who they are today, and they're leading different sectors within the country.
Incredible. Any other questions? Okay, cool. Well, we, of course, have a lot of executives from global businesses in the room. What are you seeing in terms of advertisers, sponsors? Do you feel like companies are seeing the opportunity? Are they sponsoring you? Are they putting their dollars behind you? Or is there more to do? What are they missing out on?
So for us, like me, I think they are like PFL. We have the Surge Sport investment. They are really like going forward, and they are like investing in the sport and sponsoring PFL. It's all good, and for me, like we're really having this, and I'm happy about that. The investors are really like believing in the athlete or in the organization for us like to keep going and improve the sports more, especially in the female field. So for me, like the Surge Sports investment, it's really like helping PFL to organize, like, especially now in Saudi, maybe we have 4 events, and in Middle East also, maybe the UAE is upcoming also. So I'm happy that they're also not like, you know, the mixed martial arts, most of them, they're thinking about like outside the Middle East. But now after like seeing and discovering the talent that they have in Middle East and also in Africa, for me, it's just awesome. So I really like thank like this investor that they're believing the athlete and believing on the organization that we can make something big, especially in the Middle East region.
What about in your sport, Masha?
I believe companies are seeing the value of joining forces with women in sports because what we bring, honestly, is talent. The companies are joining not because it's trending, but because it's strategic. I believe women in sports convey dreams coming true, a reality, you know, of having your passion and dreams becoming true. We are storytellers. Joining and aligning with a female in sports is about supporting a story. It's about inspiring the young generation, upcoming generation. So it really looks really promising.
Wow. Alia, what more could people do to support women's sports and, in your case, women's football? What would help grow the sport further?
Yeah, I think it's always good to learn from people who have been through that journey. So when it comes to football or women's football specifically, I believe having more experts, more people who were part of this. And as an example, we have the former head coach of Barcelona FC, who's now acting as the head coach of the women's national team, and helped a lot in building a clear pathway for our girls. As well as a sport or as women's football, we're very open to welcome all businesses that can support women's football. And be part as scholarships or owns private clubs or academies to be able to grow the game further and reach our aims. So we've had also, going back to your question when it comes to media, we have DAZN. They're broadcasting our league internationally with more than 1 million viewership. So that shows that today women's football and women's sports in general, whether it's in the kingdom or internationally, is a great opportunity for everyone to be part of. The excitement it gives, the joy it gives is unbelievable. So we welcome everyone from the different sectors to join us on this journey.
Amazing. So for the athletes on stage who are currently competing, where does your drive to win come from? Is that something you've always had? Is that something that has grown as you've done this professionally? Michelle, I see you look like you're thinking.
I personally do it for self-development, pushing my limits and seeing where my capabilities will go. I do it for myself, my people, and my country. I'm really proud to say I'm a Saudi woman athlete representing Saudi all around the world. It really means a lot to me. Yeah.
Rasha, what about you?
So personally, since I was a young girl, I've always had that dream to actually go to the Olympics. And I've played different sports across different sports, soccer, tennis, long distance running, ending it with boxing. But specifically my skill was endurance and I was very fast. However, I had a motto and a vision that my aim is to pave the way for future athletes to compete at an international level, regional level, be at the middle of that podium, represent the country. So that's the aim. So this is my drive. Yeah.
What about you? Zamzam, you come from a family of athletes. You all do this. So is that something that, were you all super competitive growing up? Were you constantly just battling to win?
For me, it's competitive, especially that me and Ghada, me and my sister, we like challenging ourselves together. Me and my sister were the most challenger one from all the family. Because my mom, she already finished from her career, and my brother is already a male, so he already have his career. But for me and my sister, we're challenging each other. Even something funny happened once. We were having this fight. My sister finished her fight in 5 seconds by submission, and for me by 6. So now we are competing with each other that I want this 1 second to be 5, or I want to get 4. So for me and Ghaya are competing each other because of this. And she having, she always say, I'm better than you because I have 5 seconds and you have 6. But for now, I'm aiming to get 4 or 5 to be as hard, to be honest.
Okay, you've got to keep us updated.
Yeah, inshallah.
So what is your message to girls today? Do you want all girls, most girls to pursue sports? And how would doing that change their lives? Rasha, you look like...
Sure, definitely. So my aim is that, let's say my word to the future generation is that be a global citizen, explore the world, read as much as you can, indulge different cultures, and then also grow at a personal level. Sports will help you to grow. It will give you the skills, the discipline, the determination, setting goals. Being an athlete, 70% is mental preparation. So it's very important for them to also mentally be prepared. So indulge different cultures, read, grow at a personal level. That's my message to them.
Wow. Michelle, what about you?
I'm sorry, I'm jet lagged, so I
Oh,
was
no.
out a bit.
It's all
Could you
good.
repeat the question?
Yeah, no, to girls today, do you think, should they all pursue sports, and what impact would that have on their lives?
I'd say we live in a land today where doors are all open, right? I'd say find the thing that you're really passionate about and go after it. For sure, it's not gonna be easy. If we speak about the challenges, you guys will be surprised, but it's nothing worth having will come easy, right? So definitely I'd say go after your passion. My message to the parents, know what your kids love, identify that thing and support them, and the possibilities are promising.
Amazing. Well, thank you all so much. For, one last round of applause for these amazing women. Just head out this time.